Nope. All right, so we're going to start just sitting down, facing forward. Now, you can sit in a comfortable crisscross position. It doesn't matter which leg is in front. If it's comfortable to you, you can also sit back on the heels. That would allow a different shape to the hips, and if that's okay with your knees, then you can definitely hang out there. Whatever shape you have chosen, let's rest the hands down on top of the thighs for some grounding energy. Closing the eyes or setting a soft gaze near the top of your mat. Before we start anything, take a few breaths here. Feel the rise of the chest and the expansion of the lungs with inhales. And see if you can create some space between shoulders and ears with every exhale. Feel free to sigh your breath out with your exhales. And then take a moment to tune into the body. Feeling the hips rooting down either into your heels or into the mat. Feeling whatever sensations you're feeling within the body. Use this opportunity to step away from the day and step onto your mat into this safe space, knowing that your breath will guide you in and out of the poses. Hands will now press at heart center. Tuck your chin to your chest, open your eyes, gaze down at your fingertips. You set an intention for practice or an intention for the day. One small little task that you know you can take care of that will make you feel better. It might be this class. And with your next inhale, let's reach the arms up overhead. The gaze can rise as well. Reach up and then exhale, hands to heart center. Use the breath and find two more of those circles. Now, if you're sitting on your heels, lift the hips up, let the feet fall over towards the right and the hips sink down. If you're in a crisscross position, you'll do a little bit more movement to allow both of the feet to sweep off the right side of the mat. So we're going to find this kind of mermaid pose with the feet towards the right. Reach the left hand off the left side of the mat. And now that right arm is up. So feel all of that weight pressing into your left hip. And now reach the left arm up as well. So you've got a little bit of core balance here, balancing on that left hip. Now allow the right hand to reach off by the feet and keep extending that left arm all the way up and over. So we're getting into your right side, left side rather. Now take that left arm, reach it a little bit more over towards the right side of the mat. And then take it all the way up and behind you. Palm is going to face up and you're just reaching that arm back in a twist. Inhale takes the arm up and arcs over again. And then right back up, open and back. So let's take two more rounds of those. Take that arm forward and over. And then up and back. Last round, move with your breath. And open. Let's have both of those arms meet up overhead again. And now let's roll forward. So palms are going to find the top of the mat. Come through to your tabletop, hands and knees. From here, we'll lift your right leg in the air. Really press through the ankle And take your navel, hug it towards the spine. So you're not allowing gravity to take a hold of center body. And now your left arm extends out in front of you. Press the mat away with that right hand. And on an inhale, lift the ends, your gaze as well. And on an exhale, let's crunch underneath. One more just like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, crunch. We're going to add on now. So inhale, lengthen. This time, exhale, bend into that right knee and reach around. Left hand might be able to tap that foot or just reach. Inhale, extend forward and backward, and then re-crunch on the exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, go up and over. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, crunch. Last full round. Inhale. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend, left hand down, right toes at the back of the mat. Let's slide your left shin a little wider off the side of the mat so you can drop that right heel at center. And now reach the right arm up. Circle that wrist that was holding you up. And now reach right arm up and over. Press the pinky side of that right foot down. Press that left hip forward and reach the right arm long. Furthermore, lean into that left hand. The right leg can rise. You can bend into that right knee. And now the right arm may be able to reach around and make a bind. Press the hips forward. Press the heart forward. And then release. Right toes to the back of the mat, right hand down. Give that left wrist a quick circle. Find plank pose. Wrists are underneath your shoulders, fingers are spread wide, hips go high, downward facing dog. Take a little half step in, and then you can find some movement, bending deeply into one knee and the other. Allowing the chin to rock side to side, finding little head circles. And then begin to settle in stillness. And lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, and step each foot behind each wrist. Bend the knees very deeply and find ragdoll. The arms can stay draping down, or you can take a hold of opposite elbows, but really let the head go. Try to look all the way underneath you, maybe even towards your ceiling. You can move around in this ragdoll as well. Bending knees, swing side to side, forward and backward. Release your energy forward. And then the arms extend long. Roll up. So roll up with 1 or 2 deep breaths. Feel the head stack on top of the shoulders. And then shrug the shoulders into the ears, big breath in. And then exhale to roll everything down and back. Palms find heart center, heel toe, the big toe mounds to touch, keeping your space, a little bit of space at the heels. Take a breath in here and stay for the exhale. Bend into the knees and reach the arms up for chair pose. So again, you're drawing your navel in and the tailbone is straight down. Take your left hand, wrap it around your belly to find that right outer hip, and just keep that hip drawing forward as you now twist to the right, opening that right arm up behind you. So that hip wants to follow you. That left hand has a job of bringing it forward. Right palm is spinning up, gaze is backward. Right arm now reaches up to the ear, face forward, and take your forward fold. Left hand can release as well. Take a step back to find your high plank pose on your inhale. Let's take our first low plank. This could be with knees grounded. Exhale, lower. Upward facing dog, pull your heart forward, and then downward facing dog, hips go high. You might pedal around again or shift around, and then begin to settle into your downward facing dog. Fingers wide, heels are spun out of your line of vision, and the head is heavy, rested between the arms. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Step the feet to the top of the mat, inhale, and then exhale to fold. Sweep the arms up overhead, inhale, and exhale, hands heart center. Right back up, inhale, sweep, and exhale, fold. Opposite foot steps back, high plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Try to keep the belly off the mat. Upward face, inhale, and downward dog, exhale. Left leg sweeps into the air, three-legged dog. And now step it forward, left foot to that left thumb. You can scooch that right heel back to get really long. Right hand on the mat, left hand to your left thigh, and let's twist to the left now. You could stack the arms, reaching that left arm up towards the ceiling. And then lower those left fingertips down. We're going to climb it up to your left thigh, and then come all the way up to your high lunge. Hips are squared forward, so you might have to pull your left hip back to allow the right one to come slightly forward. Arms are going to bend like cactus, and then bring your forearms in to touch. Let's take that right elbow underneath your left one to find an eagle wrap. Now, if this eagle wrap isn't working for you, forearms can stay towards touch. Keep lunging into that front knee, but then lift the elbows and the fingertips up. Come back to center, keep the arms. You might heel toe your left foot a little wider. We're now going to take your eagle arms inside that left leg. Reach those fingertips forward, gazes downward. Come up about an inch or two to release the arms wide, and then ground the hands down. Left foot picks up and steps back, high plank pose. Exhale to take your low plank. Upward face, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. We're going to find high plank pose here, so you might glide the feet a little longer behind you, and then the shoulders come out over the wrists. Feet can separate a little wider, heels drop to the left side of your mat. If you need supported plank, that left knee can drop down. Right arm lighter, right arm up overhead. Another variation is to stack the feet on top of each other, or a little bit of a starfish pose, that right foot comes to a hover. Last couple breaths, reach that right arm once again, long and towards the front of your mat. Back through regular plank pose, straight to downward facing dog. Let's lift your right leg into the air and take a step forward. Coming off of the hands, let's sweep up to your high lunge, but then into your warrior two. So that left heel down, keep the bend in your front knee, soften the shoulders, and gaze forward. Reach the right arm out in front of you, elbow to your thigh. Left arm up and over, side angle. So now we're getting length on left side of the body. Come right back up, warrior two, and hands can find the hips. So straighten your right knee. We have a pretty long stance here. We're going to shorten it up. Left foot is going to take about a heel step forward, and then left toes face that left corner of your mat. So now your hips are facing the front of your mat again, and there's a good distance between the 2 feet side to side. So feet are in opposite lanes of traffic. Arms will go wide on the inhale. Take the elbows behind you, exhale. Lift your heart on the inhale, and you're folding over your right leg. So there's a little bit of a turn of the chest to find those right toes. Use the inhale to rise back up. You can set the arms wide and then hands to hips for a moment. We'll take this pose into your eagle pose. So you can step your left foot forward to get your balance, or you can come right to eagle from here, where you bend into both of your knees. You pick up that left foot and you'd high cross it over. So wrapping the legs at the thighs. You can tent the left toes down or find your wrap. Now cactus the arms wide once again and bring the forearms in. This time, let's bring that left elbow underneath the right one, or forearms stay touching. Working some eagle crunches. Let the hips press backward as you take a little lean forward. Elbows might touch that knee. And then use the inhale breath to come right back up. We're going to take 2 more of those. The exhale to nice and slow and controlled crunch in. And then the inhale to rise up. Last one, if you're with me. From here, unravel the arms, kick that left leg out, and meet back at the top of the mat at center. Hands to heart, toe mounds in towards touch. Use your next inhale to sweep the arms up, and then the exhale to forward fold. Step back, take your inhale, exhale for your low plank. Upward face and downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees and look forward. Hop or step to the top of the mat, and then take an exhale to fold. Sweep up to stand, inhale, and exhale, hands heart center. Good, hands can release to the hips. Take your right foot and step it all the way to the back of your mat. And now these left toes are gonna face in. So all 10 toes are in and the heels are kicking out. So we're setting up for a wide-legged forward fold. Hands stay at the hips for the moment. Take a breath in to lift your heart and squeeze the elbows back to get really long in the front of your body. And then the exhale, keep all of that length as you forward fold and the hands touch down, maybe just off of your mat. Then press the mat away from you, keep that long spine. You can stay here or the hands walk closer to you as you fold at your hips. Head is nice and heavy no matter how deep or high you are in this pose. Then find straight arms, walking the hands back out underneath your shoulders. We're going to get into the legs, finding some side lunges. So start by walking the hands over to the right as you bend into that right knee. And then you can stay with hands grounded the whole time, or you can find hands to heart center. We're going to move between each leg. Inhale, breath, 2 straight legs. And then exhale, we'll take it over to the left. So inhale, center. And exhale to the right. Inhale and left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right, and pause. Hands can stay on the floor or heart center, or you can extend them out like airplane wings. Try to have the heart at least the height of your hips. And then everyone, hands down. Left toes are going to spin up towards the ceiling. And for some of you, that might mean you can bend deeper into this right knee and allow the hips to sink down. Use your hands as support, or once again, hands can find heart center. As much as you can, that right heel is grounded down. So listen to that foot and that knee. Now we're going to come to sit from here. So I'm not very far from the mat, so I can just sit down. Now for some of you, if that's not happening, come down to that right knee, then come to sit and replant that foot out in front of you. So we want that left leg parallel with the long edge of the mat, and we want the right toes facing off the right side of the mat. So sit up tall, bring that right arm inside the right knee, and then we'll just turn to face forward. Now take this right foot and plant it inside your left leg. So the hips are still pretty open here. Both hip points grounded down, working into gate pose. Right hand back, left hand over to that right knee and twist. Then the right arm reaches up, keep your twist, but now side lean over. So you're imagining all of this length on the right side, and one day these right fingers coming down to those left toes. And come all the way back up. So the left leg will stay long. You're going to turn to face forward, straighten this right leg, and cross it over the left. Now take a hold of that right foot and draw it closer to your left outer hip. So it's knee towards knee pose. You've got the right knee working on stacking on top of the left one. This is one of my favorite poses to get into your IT band. You can stay here. We'll take this into a fold, or this left leg is going to kind of scoot over towards the right side of the mat. You can really press the pinky toe away from you and then add your forward fold, taking it forward. Walk yourself upright. Bring your left leg straight out in front of you again. And then once again, cross that right ankle over the left one and pull the knees back so the right ankle is still on top of left. Scoop up underneath your thighs and let's come into a cross-legged boat pose. A little bit of dynamic work here. Arms are going to extend out in front of you. Good. Now let's tap the toes down, wrap around. Inhale, straighten both of the legs, and then exhale, cross left over right and tap down. So inhale, straighten legs. Exhale, right over left. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, left over right. Last one, inhale. And exhale, right over left. Hold for an added beat here. and then take your roll forward. Hands will return to the top end of your mat. Feet are gonna step back, high plank pose. Find your core, keep it nice and solid as you glide forward into your low plank. Upward face, heart forward, and downward dog, exhale. Let's return to sit for a moment. So if you sat on the heels at the very start of the class, you can definitely take that again. Otherwise, you can find a crisscross, maybe the opposite shin in front. We'll just take a few moments here to collect the breath. Notice how the body has changed from the start of class. Take a few rounds of deep breath. If the eyes are closed, you can blink them open. Feet are going to fall off the left side of your mat now. So if you're on the heels, you can kind of just slide off and let the feet go left. Otherwise, transition so that you've got the feet over towards the left. Let's lean the right hand out and lift the left arm up so you can feel the asymmetry happening at the hips. Now add the core as you reach the right arm up. Let's take it the opposite way. So the left hand off by the feet, right arm up, and now reach all the way over. So big stretch for this right outer hip, up the side of the body into the ribs, underneath the arm. And then keep leaning over towards the left, reach the arm a little further, and then take it all the way up and open it behind you. Your next exhale takes that arm forward, and the inhale to reopen. Find 2 more rounds. Meeting with both arms up overhead, and then hands down. Let's come forward to your tabletop. Starting with your left leg straight and lifted in the air behind you. Strong leg, press through the heel. Center body up, and now that right arm extends forward. So we'll start with 2 simple rounds of crunching under. Inhale, lift up, and exhale to crunch. 1 more just like that. Inhale, and exhale. Now we're adding on. Inhale, exhale, bend that knee, reach back. Inhale, re-straighten, and exhale, crunch under. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bind. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, crunch. Last one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, extend, hands down, left toes back of mat, and then you can slide this right foot wider. Left heel falls to center, and now your left arm reaches up. You can spin that wrist, and then reach left arm out to the front of the mat. So consciously press that bottom hip, your right hip forward. Balancing would be leaning into that right hand and the left leg floats. Furthermore, into a bind, you bend the knee and that left arm may reach around and cup underneath the heel. Press the hips forward, keep breathing. Release, foot down, hand down. Let's take the right foot, step it back, and go straight to downward facing dog. Let the feet go a little wider. Walk the hands backwards towards the feet. Take your peace fingers and loop your big toes. Knees can definitely bend here, but you want a nice long spine. Pull heart forward, and then exhale, forward fold. That gaze again is trying to look all the way underneath you, maybe even towards the ceiling. That allows the neck to stay nice and long. And find straight arms, look out in front of you. Hands will come up to your hips, and an inhale all the way up to standing. Once again, step the toe mounds in towards touch, and hands can fly hard up. Toes are pretty light here. The weight is rested into the heels. Right arm wraps around to find that left hip, and an exhale opens you to the left. The palm is spinning up, and that right hand is drawing left hip forward. Left arm up, face forward. Now dive forward into your fold and right hand releases. Walk the hands forward, find your plank pose, and exhale, take your low plank. Upward face, inhale, and downward dog, exhale. Right leg sweeps into the air, and take a step to the top of your mat. You can wiggle those left toes back to get nice and long. Left hand stays grounded, right hand to the top of your right thigh, and we'll twist now to the right. Again, you can stack the shoulders, reaching right arm up to the ceiling. You can also keep that hand on your hip. Right hand to your thigh, look down, left hand comes up to your thigh, and let's come all the way up now to high lunge, stacking the shoulders over your hips. Arms go wide, bring the forearms in. If you stay here, otherwise left elbow underneath for your eagle bind. Keep lunging forward in that front knee, but now we're going to lift the elbows up, the gaze up and back for spinal extension. Try not to allow the head to just drop back behind you. Arms come back to center, that right foot can go a little wider, and now you can fall inside that right knee or reach the arms forward. Come up an inch or two, release the arms wide, and then the hands can step down, right foot to the back of the mat. Exhale to your low plank. Upward face and downward facing dog. Let's find high plank pose again, so you might need to lengthen the stance out. Feet can go a little wider, and the heels are dropping to the right. Again, you can drop that right knee down for support. Left hand is what's getting lighter. Lift it up. You can stay with staggered feet or left foot on top of right foot or even to a hover. Let those hips rise and then reach that left arm out in front of you, getting into side body once again. Back through regular plank, go straight to downward facing dog, left leg in the air, and step left foot forward, top of mat. Coming off of the hands, sweep up high lunge, and we'll go right into your warrior two. So you have a really big space between the 2 feet. Take up all the space you can on your mat, and now reach out towards the top of the mat, left arm down, right arm up, and over side angle. Back up to warrior two. Hands to hips, straighten front leg. So we have to shorten the distance between the feet now. So heel toe a step or two. And now the right toes are going to face towards the right corner of the mat. About a leg's distance between the 2 feet, but that right hip is facing forward. Arms wide, and then taking the elbows behind you. Lift heart, inhale, and fold over left leg, Parsvottanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms wide, and then hands to hips. Coming into your eagle pose from here, Garuda Asana. So you can step that right foot forward and then come into the wrap, or try to step all the way from this pose into your eagle pose. Once you've got your legs wrapped up in a shape that works for you, find those cactus arms and bring them together again. If you're going further, it's that right elbow underneath the left this time. Working those 3 crunches. So take it nice and easy forward. The hips may drop a little bit and press back. And then right back up the way you came in. Exhale takes you forward. And inhale, back up. Last round. Nice and smooth. Control your movement. Unravel the arms. Unravel the legs. And return to the top of the mat. Samastitihi, hands at heart center. Feet grounded into the mat. Without moving, take a big breath in. And an exhale. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, fold. Step back, inhale. Exhale, low plank. Upward face and downward dog. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Take a hop or a step to the top of the mat and fold. Sweep up to Urdhva Hastasana and exhale, Samastitihi. So now your left foot is going to step all the way to the back of the mat and your right toes are going to angle in. So we're setting up for that wide-legged forward fold again. This time the arms will go wide. And take an interlace at the low back. So the knuckles are going to press down as you roll the shoulders down and back. Lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, take your lean out in front of you to forward fold. The arms may lift off of the low back, the knuckles towards the ceiling. Release your head. Make sure the weight isn't just all in your heels. Bring some weight towards the balls of the feet as well. Come up halfway and then return the hands to the mat. Let's side lunge, bend into that left knee. Hands can follow. Hands can stay grounded the whole time, or you bring hands to heart center. And then we'll move. Inhale, 2 straight legs. And exhale, bend right knee. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. Last round, inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale. And exhale, left. Now take the same shape you did first side. Hands stay grounded. Hands heart center. Or you might even float the arms wide. We'll all plant the hands down now. Hips are going to sink deeper. Maybe those right toes flip up towards the ceiling. Now, I'd like to see that left heel grounded, so you might have to come out of your pose a bit to keep that heel grounded. and then come all the way down, any way you need to, and then we'll reset. So that right leg is long and parallel with the side end of your mat. The left toes are facing off the left side of the mat. Left arm helping to press that left knee wide, and then you're gazing forward. So use your core to sit nice and upright. Now take that left foot and bring it to your inner right thigh. You are still somewhat facing towards the left side of your mat. Left hand behind you and the right hand falls over to that left knee for a twist. Gate pose, left arm up and take it over again. So really think about your twist. Bringing the right bottom rib cage and scooping it forward. Chest is slightly lifted. Deepen the breath. Come out of your gate pose. Let's face forward. Left ankle is going to cross over that right leg and reface the body completely forward. Now take a hold of that left foot and bring it as close as you can to that outer right hip. We're stacking the knees on top of each other. So this is your half Gomukhasana pose. We'll take it into that right IT band. So now slide that right leg towards the left side of your mat and really press the pinky side of the foot towards the top of the mat. Sit tall on your inhale and then take your forward fold on the exhale. Walk yourself upright. Right leg straight out from the hip again. Straighten that left leg, but keep the ankles crossed. And now bend into the knees. Squeeze the knees together. Try to keep knees together for this whole next piece. Wrap underneath the legs and come to a boat pose where you're floating the shins. All right, now we're going to tap down, wrap around. Inhale, boat pose, but straighten the legs. And now exhale, right ankle over left. Inhale, boat pose. Exhale, left over right. Inhale, boat. Exhale, right over left. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale, pause. Take your roll forward. Find your tabletop, hands and knees. Let the knees go a little wider and then sink the hips to the heels. Find a child's pose. Arms can reach out in front of you. That's your traditional shape. If your shoulders are uncomfortable, reach the arms down towards the feet. Return to your tabletop, hands and knees. Now the knees can stay a little wider. Bring your right hand centered underneath your face. Left hand is going to sweep in the air like a wing. Give that wrist a circle. And then thread the needle, left arm underneath the right one. As you rest the side of the head down, walk the side of the head forward so the spine is nice and long. And then you can keep that right hand in front of your face or walk it out, reaching towards the front of your mat. Now this is a great place to stay, twisting the spine in a grounded pose. If you want to take it one step further, you can work in towards balance. Just know that there's a tendency to topple over here, especially if you're newer to this shape or this pose. So if you wanted to give it a try, I would bring that right hand back in front of the face, and you would step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat, so that right leg is long, and the balance comes by now floating that right leg in the air. Now that can be lifted an inch off of the mat, a foot off of the mat, seeing what works for your balance. If you're lifted, lower that right knee back down, right hand in front of the face to push us all back up, and release that left arm like a wing. Lower that left hand down, and take a couple of cat-cows. Just getting some movement through the spine. And then come back to center. To the other side, threading the needle, so the knees are a little wider. Left hand underneath your face, right arm up, circle that wrist. I just got bonked in the head by Al. And let's thread under. Right arm underneath, so as you land on the shoulder, walk the head forward. Left hand can be in front of the face, or you can walk it forward a couple breaths in the twist. Happily stay here, or left hand in front of the face for some added balance. Left foot can step all the way to the back of the mat, and then that leg can float. If floating, take it lower, both knees to the mat, left hand in front of face to push yourself up. Release the right arm out just for a beat, and then both hands down to the mat. So take at least maybe 5 or 6 breaths, rounds of breaths in cat-cow. That could also be side to side, swaying the hips or around in circles. Just come back to what feels good in your body to help reset the spine. And then pause at your tabletop. Spread your fingers wide. The center of your elbows, the elbow crease, try to spin those elbow creases forward. Hug navel to your spine and step each foot back, high plank pose. Big breath in your high plank. Exhale, glide forward, take your final low plank. Upward facing dog, big breath in, and downward dog, exhale. As this is your final downward facing dog, you can move around a little more, get some final stretches in the backs of the legs. And then look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees. Let's come to sit. And bring the feet to touch out in front of you, finding bound angle pose. So the knees are splaying off towards the sides. Hands behind you. You might be able to bump your hips a little closer towards the heels. And then take a hold of the inner soles of the feet. Pull your heart forward, sit up nice and tall. And then just drop your chin to your chest. Soften your shoulders. Soften the breath. Relax your knees and your inner thighs. And for a few moments, you can gaze down at your heart and watch the rise and fall of your breath. Lift your chin, gaze forward, and then exhale, take a lean forward. A little more space now for the inner hips and the low back. And inhale all the way up. Gather the knees, bring them in, roll yourself all the way down onto your back and hug the knees into center. You can draw some circles with the knees as you rotate one way and the other along the sacrum, the low back. Feel free to take a happy baby here or float your legs up into the air. A final shape to help you rest at the end of class. There could even be a spinal twist in there. So thanks for joining another live Friday at 11 a.m. I'll continue to be hosting these live 11 a.m. basic vinyasa classes for the foreseeable future. Thanks for joining in. And as some of you may know, all of my studios are closed along with most of the rest of our lives. So I'll continue offering these classes here through my YouTube channel and sometimes live on Instagram. If at the end of class you're able to offer a contribution, a donation, I would greatly appreciate it. I will have my Venmo and my PayPal up for you to view. Stay safe, everybody. We'll take a big breath in together. You can sigh it out. Namaste to each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing your practice.